We heard a few different folks talk about just the shape you come into camp, kind of putting the injuries and stuff past you. Does it kind of feel like that on the court, that you feel kind of different going to this training camp?
Yeah, I feel really good. It was the longest summer of my career, right? Like, we lost so early. I got surgery, and there was a lot of time to kind of rest and recover, and then start to break down what I need to get better at and how to kind of physically get ready. But normally it's a shorter summer, so you don't have as much time to do as much. So that was really good for me. But I think what I've said historically is that I always take really good care of myself and try to put myself in the best position to be successful. And as I get on the other side of 30, I understand the importance of making sure you're in shape, making sure you're eating right, and really doing the little stuff so that I can prolong my career as long as possible. But I'll say I'm in really good shape, and this is year 11, so I kind of know exactly what I need to get ready, and I wanted to make sure that I was ahead of the curve when we hit the ground running.
What's the energy in the gym been like these past few days?
It's been a lot of fun. A lot of guys who have worked on their game over the course of the summer. I mean, we've been here for a long time, so this is what we've all been seeing, historically. Obviously, adding Z, adding JV, who was gone, and Z, who was hurt, last year. It's nice to be able to play with him, play alongside BI, and continue to figure out ways we can all be successful on the court together.
You talked about this last year. I assume you still feel the way, kind of like the apex when the mental and the physical meet, about maybe being the best basketball of your career. I assume you still feel that's right where you are.
Yeah, when you're not going through injuries and stuff, it's a lot easier to be successful on the court, and mentally I do what I need to do to get myself ready. But yeah, I think when you look at a lot of the best players in the league, when they get on the outside of 30, depending on how they play, right? The skill set, Steph Curry's of the world, Dame 33, Drew Holiday. A lot of guys who are skill-based, their games age, really well. And I think my game, I don't really dunk on people, you know what I'm saying? So I have to think the game. I have to be able to play angles. I got to be able to manipulate pick and rolls. And I really just be sound with my skill and decision-making. And I think that's where you get growth. As you get more years of experience, you figure out how to continue to contribute and just be in a new situation, and then, continue to figure out ways to get used to playing alongside high-caliber players, right? Z, he plays in certain spaces. BI plays in certain spaces, and we're all out there together, continue to figure out how to make sure we're all existing and being successfle. I think it's very important.
What was it like just having that starting five out there together again, being able to get up and down the court?
It was nice, man. You forget, a lot of out of sight, out of mind, right? You forget how impactful and dominant Z is when he's not around on the court, right? And then he gets out there and you understand the physicality, the ability to finish around the basket. Z is a really great player, obviously. BI, them out there together, space, screens, the rolls, the ability to make shots and make other players better is, what you guys will continue to see, and hopefully we get a large sample size for you to be able to watch and for us to play together this season.
CJ, how would you grade the on-court chemistry with that starting five, since you guys barely played last year?
It's a work in progress, man. It's a work in progress. I think we'll be successful because we want to be, and we'll do whatever it takes. And the more reps we get, the more practices we get under our belt, the more games, the better we'll be.
Yeah, you already kind of touched on this, but having Z back, having BI back, the three of you all together, what is that going to mean for you in terms of like your play style and your role? I know it kind of fluctuated a little bit last year with guys being in and out.
I can play any role, man. I'm comfortable in any role. I can be on the ball. I can be off the ball. I can chill in the corner. I think my game really translates, and I've played different roles throughout my career where I'm comfortable. I just want to contribute towards winning. I think that's what I've done historically throughout my career, is figure out how to contribute towards winning and fit in wherever I need to fit in at. Obviously, I can score the ball, I can shoot the ball really well, do those types of things. But I think for us to be successful, we have to be able to empower everybody. And Z has to be able to be empowered to do stuff. He has to have ball handling responsibility. BI have to have some ball handling responsibilities. And I think for us to grow collectively, you got to be comfortable doing different stuff. And historically, I figure it out, man. I think when you have a scorer's mentality, but you also can catch and shoot, you're going to fall into catch and shoot opportunities. You're going to fall into late clock. Somebody's going to get doubled. These guys are elite basketball players, right? It's not like we're working with amateurs. These are the best of the best. So they'll figure out how to still be able to be successful doing what they do, and I'll figure out how to get in where I fit in.
You look forward to enjoying a little bit of more perhaps catch and shoot opportunities where the defense is being drawn in by those two guys and maybe not as significant defenders on you?
Absolutely. I think, historically I've shot really well from three. I think I shot 44 from catch and shoot, and that was, battling some injuries and stuff. So I look forward to taking advantage. We obviously got JB here who will have a different offensive play style. I'm comfortable setting screens. I'm comfortable getting screens. I've been doing this a long time, man. So I figure it out, and I figure out ways to be successful, and I think the biggest thing is when you're selfless and you're willing to do whatever it takes to win, I think it becomes contagious.
Just following up on that a little bit is I think historically you're like at 7 or 8 threes, like, you know, per game. Is there like a responsibility with Trey, or not like pressure, but to take more, knowing that the league has evolved that way?
I mean, I'm gonna take what they give me. You know, I think when you have shot credibility, you know, you would like to shoot 10 threes, but you want to shoot 4 bad ones, or you want to, you know, make a play for somebody else or get into the paint. So I think that's where you allow your talent to take over, and you allow your instincts to kick in. And obviously, I've shot a lot of middies my whole career, but I think that's the shot that the defense has given you. And I think it's more like taking what I want. You know, I don't want to shoot long twos. I want to get to the paint, or I want to shoot a 3, right? And if I have to settle for, you know, the Chris Paul midi, then that's different than 18, 19 footer. I think it's just thinking the game, playing somebody analytics, but also playing to my skill set. And my skill set is take what they give you, create what you want to create, and really get the defense in rotation. But, you know, we played 10 games together collectively. I played a lot of games with Z and a lot of games with BI, so the shot chart and the shot breakdown is going to be completely different when we're all coexisting together.
What do you think makes BI such a good playmaker?
Man, he's tall as hell, so I think that makes it easier, right? You know, he's super tall. He can see over the defense. He's a 3-level scorer. He loves to play in the mid-range. He has a great pace, great feel. He can change directions to kind of get the defense off balance, and I think he's just a high basketball IQ, right? He watches basketball, studies basketball. He's receptive to criticism, whether constructive or not. Like, he responds well, and I think he wants to be great. And I think when you want to be great, you have to be able to pass. You got to be able to dribble and create.
I asked Willie this kind of lightheartedly. When he came into the league, the only people who were called centers were 7-footers. And now, like, Herb's talking about playing small ball center. Do you kind of think, just like smirk a little bit, that game has evolved so much that you got a 6'6" or 6'7" guy that's a small ball center?
I think you just want your best players on the floor, so you don't really care about positions. You figure it out. Guys can guard, guys can talk, guys can react. And, you know, I think the Warriors made it famous, right? Draymond was undersized. Now he plays a lot of 5, and he's really good at playing 5. So I think it's just a matter of getting your best players on the court. Got really good defenders. You have to utilize their ability to be flexible, whether that's switching, whether that's some zone, whether that's hard hedging. You got to figure out how to really do what you're best at, and then understand that the other teams are going to not always play. Like, unless you got a Sabonis, how many teams are going to play a true 5, you know, for an entire game? Like, it doesn't happen very often.
One of the things Willie mentioned was the importance of rebounding in those small units. What's the approach have to be to make sure you're ending those possessions by grabbing the board?
Yeah, just little things, boxing out, understanding that each possession really matters. You look at, you know, a 42-win season last year. I think we went 42-40. How many games did we lose because we gave up second chance opportunities? You know, the small things, turnovers. Those are the things that you have to really tighten up, because you can control it. You can't control makes and misses, but you can control going to get a rebound or boxing somebody out. So that'll be a huge emphasis for us. And we're really good defensively, and we still gave up a lot of second chance points. So if we can tighten that up, we'll be that much better.